Who is the best Toddast guest? What is my favorite conversation between John Wright and myself? And could John be the best Toddast guest ever? Well, I talk about all that and more on this episode of The Toddcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Toddcast. As always, I'm your host, Todd McManus, and thought this episode should just be a cool, crisp best of episode. That's right, we actually have a new best of episode that is going to be this week. This one is actually going to highlight a few of my favorite conversations with the second all-time appearance guest here on the Toddcast, which should be a good friend of mine, Mr. John Wright. He has been on numerous times, like too many to count at this point. Can't count that high. That's how many times he's been on. But there are a few episodes that you're about to listen to, a few conversations, not full episodes, but if you want to listen to the full episodes, you can scroll through and find them on my YouTube channel, and you can also find them here on the podcast provider that you're listening on. But thought might as well listen to a couple conversations with John. And yeah, so you're now going to be listening to me and John talk about random things, and actually there is a review in here. So hope you enjoy and listen to me and John rant about random things. There's two places I've never been to, but I've always heard of, and I want to know if you've been to them. The first one I like to ask, and I feel like it's always like a weird, not an abomination, but it's like this weird aura around it to me, and that's White Castle.
Yeah, I have been to White Castle.
Is White Castle good?
You know, it's one of those places that's really good when you're drunk. And you gotta find a good one for it to be good while you're sober. So
yeah, because there's probably more bad ones than good ones, like just regularly.
Yeah, it's not as good as, like, say, a Chick-fil-A, but
yeah,
you could put it up there somewhere with In-N-Out, if you've ever been to an In-N-Out.
Oh, okay. I have not, but
well, it's pretty good.
That's the first time I've ever heard White Castle and In-N-Out in the same conversation.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get assassinated after saying that.
Because, you know, In-N-Out, people have like such, because it's In-N-Out and Shake Shack that are the like East and West Coast.
I love some Shake Shack,
and I've never been to either.
Shake Shack is amazing. You ask for a small order of fries and they give you 5 pounds of fries. Oh my god!
I've never. Because I've looked it up, because I want to know if we had one. Because, like, Louisiana, we don't have an In-N-Out. We don't have a
Mississippi.
We don't have a Steak and Shake either. I'm pretty sure we don't. But there's a Shake Shack in New Orleans that I saw. Because there's a Shake Shack and a Cheesecake Factory down there. And that's another place I want to go. All those, like, places you always hear about, but you never been to. Yeah. Like, that's a lot of them for me. Like, In-N-Out, Shake Shack, White Castle, Cheesecake Factory with their million thing menu, you know. But White Castle's always weird to me because it always looks like, because I knew about the freezer hamburgers before I knew about the restaurant, and I was like, why did they turn a restaurant out of these freezer hamburgers? And then people were like, well, they're actually good, and apparently they're better from the restaurant, which would make sense, you know. But you can go in there and get, like, the burger briefcase of, like, 20 of them or something.
You absolutely can.
But they're all, like, just sliders.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so...
They're, like, one-bite hamburgers. Oh. It's so good.
Because they're, like... Are they, like, as big as the sliders from, like, Chili's or something? Like, around that size, maybe? Because they're not that big. Like,
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Just maybe just shorter with less stuff on it.
What's is it called, like, Checkers? Or there's another.
There's Checkers and then there's Culver's.
There's a place that sells sliders too, and I can't remember what it's called. They have them all over the East
Crystal.
Crystal.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, because I remember them being the ones that sold sliders too.
See, I don't like Crystal. I do like White Castle.
I feel like
Crystal.
That's a thing I hear too, that people say that they'll like White Castle. Like Crystal's just old, and like Crystal's one of them places that you're shocked that it's still in business, kind of like Burger King.
Yeah. So. Well, I will say, you eat a Burger King burger, it doesn't taste like any other kind of burger. Like it's at least different. I ate a McDonald's burger. It's gonna taste the same as, say, a burger.
Like it feels like their burgers are just like made in a factory, like they're manufactured burgers.
Yeah.
But Burger King, you can tell they made it.
At least they put some essence of a grill on the meat. Like it tastes like it has been near a grill.
Yeah, like McDonald's always feels like they somehow like them old cartoons where they get space food and it's just dust and pour water on it and it turns into a dinner or something. You know, that's what McDonald's always feels like. It's like them burgers that are made out of the goop from SpongeBob.
Yeah. Or you know the Spy Kids movie where they have like the bags of food and they put it in the dehumidifying microwave or whatever and it just pops out. It's like this big meal. Yeah,
that's McDonald's for you. But another place that I thought of that is not really at all the same like White Castle. The only way I compare it is because they have a lot of freezer items. Is TGI Fridays.
Yeah, I've been there.
And which they're just Fridays now. They left the TGI. They cut it out, so it's just called Fridays. I've always seen them. We don't have one around here.
No, nowhere near us.
Or a White Castle. But is Fridays a good place just to eat at all?
It's okay.
It's okay. It's just another place. Because Fridays is like...
It's not as bad as Applebee's.
Well, some people say that Fridays is like a different kind of Chili's. That it's in that area of Applebee's, Chili's, and all them places, you know. Because they're like, they have a bunch of different stuff on the menu, but you don't really know what kind of restaurant they are. But it's like they'll have pasta, and then the next page will have hamburgers and all that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But they always have these like... There's so much TGI Fridays stuff in the freezer section at like Walmart. And I never understood why and how they got there. Of like, how is their stuff good enough to make it items that you could put in a box in the freezer section and be like, hey, our potato whatever, you know, our wedges or potato skins or loaded potato skins are in Walmart. They're at the freezer section. Like how, like, I don't understand why they would do that. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good question.
That's a really good question. I need to talk to TGI Fridays, apparently.
I mean, it's the same thing with, like, I don't know if it's like a marketing thing like it is with Stranger Things, but like you go to Walmart now and you see all kinds of like Stranger Things pizzas, Stranger Things chicken nuggets, and then
Stranger Things is on Dorito bags too, and all that.
But like no, it's like the specific brand.
Yeah, like it's Things. TGI Fridays brand.
Yeah,
like with whenever it's like new video games that you'll see a bunch of stuff like Call of Duty will do stuff with Mountain Dew or something, you know, and like back in the day, the older Halo games was like, oh, here's a new flavor of like Halo 3 or 2 or one of them did like Mountain Dew Red, you know, and it's like one-time flavor. You got to get it and you can get a code for something, you know, on the game or whatever. But with like TGI Fridays, they made it their brand.
Yeah.
Like they have their own branded freezer items that you can just go pick up right now if you wanted to.
Is that Guy Fieri's restaurant?
TGI Fridays?
I feel like it is.
He does a chicken restaurant. I know that.
Or maybe he was the like spokesperson of TGI
for Fridays.
Yeah.
I don't.
Or was it Ruby Tuesday?
No.
One of the weekday restaurants. You know?
I feel like, is Ruby Tuesday out of business?
No, it's not. I loved Ruby Tuesday.
I feel like there was one close, but it closed.
I go to Mississippi a lot. There's one in Pearl, Mississippi, I think. And
is that place good?
I love Ruby Tuesday.
Is it like TGI Fridays?
It's sort of like it, but like I've never had anything there I don't like. It's just all delicious.
I've seen Ruby Tuesdays, and I've never like.
They used to have one. I think it's in like Spanish Fort, Alabama or Florida. Like, what? You're on the way to the beach, right? And you're driving down through Mobile.
Yeah.
And you go across the bay. It's in the next town across the bay. And we'll stop there and we'll eat at Ruby Tuesdays in Spanish Fort. I don't know what state it's in. I think it's in Alabama. Could be wrong there. And it's just always a great experience. You know, you just come out of a tunnel. Your stomach is empty.
Yeah.
You want some food. And it's Tuesday.
And Ruby Tuesday.
Yeah.
Did they do any specials on Tuesday since it's their name? Or?
Yeah. Well, it's different for every restaurant, but some of them do.
Yeah.
I want to say they have really good ribs, too.
I feel like a lot of those places do. Like, I like Chili's ribs.
Yeah.
Like, they're good. Because I remember when I was younger, that's like something I would get. It was either the ribs or those sliders with ranch on them, you know. And them things are like, that's number one.
I wish I had a briefcase of those. Oh my God.
A briefcase of them, I would eat every one of them. A briefcase of the freaking chili sliders, those are heavenly. Guy Fieri was the spokesperson in 2008 and 2009 for TGI Fridays.
Am I old? I thought that was like 5 years ago.
No, he was that, and then the next year in 2010, he was in the Aflac commercials. Is what he did.
I don't even remember that.
But
I thought that was his restaurant. Like, he started at TGI.
I think that's whenever he just got famous with his shows and all that kind of stuff.
Little 8-year-old me was like...
And Fridays was booming. I feel like Fridays was way more famous when we were younger. Like 8 or 9 years old, around that time. Guy Fieri was in their commercials.
It was his
every time you turned the TV on and the commercial would come on for any kind of food, it was always freaking Applebee's or TGI Fridays. Which now it's just Fridays. They got rid of the TGI like a year or two ago. But yeah, like I want to go. I'll end up having to go to different places. If I find a White Castle, I'm definitely going to go. Just because it's like
check like Shreveport.
It's like Shreveport.
Yeah, you know about Shreveport.
I know about Shreveport, but I may not want to go to Shreveport.
Is it too far?
No, because it's Shreveport.
Or because you might get shot.
That's, yes.
Or I'd probably go... Shoot, I don't know.
But then also, I don't want to drive an hour for bad White Castle.
Well, you know, you'll know never to do it again.
True.
But
which, if I can go to Shreveport, one of Mr. Beast's burger places is in Shreveport. And I would rather just go there and just get...
You can just stop at all the food places. You go to Torchies. Not Torchers.
Torchers.
Torchies.
They got Torchies in Shreveport?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's another place.
Oh, you haven't been to Torchies?
I've never been to Torchies.
Oh, Todd.
Torchies Taco. I've heard about them, and they're
favorite place of all time.
Like I've heard that they're just so good.
The queso?
Just like, yeah.
Oh my god.
I ain't been to a lot of places.
Oh. Do you like spicy?
White Castle Fridays, Shake Shack, In-N-Out, Torchies. What's another place?
I feel like there's a couple.
There are a lot. The Mr. Beast burger place. What was the place I was just thinking? There was another place that's around, but we don't have them around here. I ain't been to Cheesecake Factory. That's another place. Like
Shake Shack and your
Culver's, Checkers, all them types of places.
Yeah.
Crystal, no, I've never been. I've been to an A&W.
All right, that's one place I haven't been. I don't like root beer. So.
But there's also like 4 of them left.
Yeah.
They have. I feel like they do have food, but we didn't get anything. The best thing that they had, which is what I got, which was a glass mug that was a root beer float.
Oh yeah.
And it was really good.
Which you don't like spicy food, do you? Like nothing.
I'll eat it if it's spicy and tastes good. I'll eat it, but I usually if I go to Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm not getting the hottest flavor just because there's no. Once you get to a certain point, there's no flavor and it's all hot.
You're in luck because Torchy's balances the flavor with the spice.
It not only makes me sweat but tastes good.
Yeah, and they have options to make it spicier, so they'll bring you these little cups that's got spicy mayo in it, or like something like all kinds of different sauces, and you can choose to put them on your tacos or what. But normally they're like, you can choose if you want the spicy one or not. So like the really good spicy one is the brush fire.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. But like if you want one that's got like sausage, like they have like Cajun boudin. Well, this one I had in Lake Charles, so it might not be everywhere, but they're different to wherever you go. So I've been to one in Colorado, I've been to one in Lake Charles, I've been to one in Tyler, Texas, I've been to one in Shreveport. They're all different. They have different menus. But the brush fire seems to be consistent, and they have a Democrat and a Republican.
Yeah.
And those are interesting too. I've tried everything on every menu I've been to. Like, absolutely love.
Chipotle.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one I haven't been to.
I don't enjoy Chipotle.
A lot of people, like, it got really famous for, like, a short amount of time. And it's still famous. But, like, a lot of people, like yourself probably, will say that Chipotle is, like, a little overrated.
Oh, it's very overrated. I did not like it at all.
Yeah.
I got a burrito there. I don't remember what I was disappointed about standing in the line, but it was a lot of things. Like, I was standing there and I was looking down at like all the options. I was like, where is everything else? Like, what? Yeah, like
I've never been there, but I've heard their queso is pretty good. So like, how is their queso compared to Torchy's?
I didn't try their queso because I don't think they had any. I do know that
they were out of queso.
I didn't see any for sure. But I do know that the queso at Torchy's is like,
it's a top tier queso.
It is. It's not like any other queso you've had,
but it's still like amazing.
It's kind of like spicy a little bit. It's they mix a bunch of different things in with it.
Yeah.
I want to say it's like cotija cheese that they mix in. They mix in all kinds of greens, cilantro. I'm sure
they're trying to give it like that extra punch of flavor to it.
It's almost like, say if you went to a Mexican restaurant and you mixed your salsa and your queso, it's almost kind of like that. Have you ever done that?
Yeah. So it's like you mix your salsa and your queso,
it's
but it's all queso for them.
It's got a little tomato in it. Like, it's not white. It's kind of orangish.
Okay.
But it is still so good. Oh my gosh. I think about that all the time.
I need to go to Torchy's then. Like
I'll go with you. We can do a food review right near the Torchy's.
Take it on the road.
We'll lay out a table. We will not be able to walk out of Torchy's. I mean, swear.
If I'm hungry, yeah, like I can put away some food.
No, you can. Ooh, you can put.
It depends on like how big are these like tacos or.
They're not massive. They're a little bit bigger than something you'd get at like Taco Bell.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's like a supreme bean burrito or something like that at Taco Bell. It's probably the same size as that.
Okay. That's not too.
It's not massive.
Large,
like you're not gonna.
I'm not gonna get overwhelmed with these tacos.
No, but you're definitely gonna be like, if you eat 2, you might get full.
Oh.
If you eat 6, you're definitely full, but you're like, that was good.
Yeah.
I got to try everything.
Yeah, and you're like, I want one more. And then you get to the point where it's like, okay, I feel like I'm about to throw up.
Yeah. So normally what you'll do is you do like 2 tacos and a like queso. That'll fill you up. That's like the perfect ratio. You know,
weird.
You got chips in your tummy.
Only like
queso.
2 tacos.
They're
but
good.
They're like packed with flavor and just have like apparently not like a crap ton of stuff on them or nothing, but they have quite a lot.
It's a good bit of stuff. And you can choose if you want your corn tortilla, if you want your flour tortilla. I always do the corn tortilla because that's the way the natives did it. And
it just tastes better than flour, probably.
It does. It just matches. Like, flour almost tastes like paper to me. I can't stand flour.
I can't. Whenever I get, like, fajitas from a Mexican restaurant, I never use the tortillas. Yeah. I just pour queso over the whole plate and eat just the meat and onions and all that
that's
like
exactly what I do.
Like, just as a plate. Because that's good. And, you know, it's like it's a, like, steak, chicken, shrimp, one of them, all of them, you know, like, that's my favorite thing to do is just mix some queso on it because the tortillas in a lot of places are just not good.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the floury taste to it, if it's something they put in it to make it stay together. I don't know what it is. Like flour tortillas you get from like Walmart, I know people can just eat them things as like a snack. You know, I can't do that. The only places I was able to eat tortillas, but it's because they had cheese in the middle, was Posados over in Shreveport, because they'll give them to you like as like an appetizer. It's like that little container, you know, and you just eat them whole. And maybe like different Mexican restaurants that have a burrito, but also I'm getting, you know, all of the meat and the rice and cheese and everything instead of the tortilla. But I understand what you're saying about the flour tortilla. So I'm going to have to get a corn tortilla and just get some tortilla tacos, apparently. I mean, there's a lot of places I haven't been. Like, I really want to try Chipotle just to try it. But you're not the only person I know that has said the same thing, that you went to Chipotle, it was very underwhelming, and that Chipotle is that you consider it very overrated.
Yeah. I mean, I've grown up living in a place, well, not grown up per se, but I went to college in a place where I can walk down the road and go to the best Mexican restaurant within like 500 miles.
Yeah.
And you get like, maybe not 500, maybe 200. But you get like really conditioned to having really good food. And then you go to somewhere like Chipotle where it's like, it's a chain.
It's almost like fast food, but
yeah, so it's
in that weird
nearly
gray
like
area.
Subway-ish, but Subway's still better than
food. And we both like reviewing some food. Now, these two things I have not had before, and you said that you haven't had either of these flavors.
I have not.
So we're going to go ahead and dive into these two flavors of Bugles. Now, first question I wanted to ask you as we look at these. Do you consider Bugles as a chip? Or are they, because on the bag it says crispy corn snack. But they're always with the chips. Yeah. They're in the same chip bag. They got the same crunch. It's basically just fold a Dorito. You fold a Dorito like this, it's the same thing.
This is an interesting question.
Would you consider Bugle a chip?
Maybe an edible cornucopia?
I don't see that on the bag.
Yeah. I don't know if I would consider that a chip.
Because it's still crunchy and it's like it's made out of the same stuff. Like Doritos are corn chips.
What constitutes a chip? Does it have to be a certain shape? Because I think, like, you know, you've got tortilla chips that are shaped as bowls.
Yeah, Tostitos,
or
and
just
then those
flat circles.
They have the rounds.
This is just
Doritos are triangle.
This is just a mixture between the scoops and the Doritos. You know, it's a cone.
Yeah, like
this is a chip,
and this is a good dipping chip, just like the bowl ones from Tostitos, because you can get a lot of stuff in these holes. You know, and none of it will fall through.
Exactly.
Because it's not a hole all the way through. It's just like a little ice cream cone.
Yeah.
That's all it is, and just dip, and then there you go.
Savory ice cream cone.
That's basically what Bugles are.
But I think it's a chip. Yeah.
I would also consider it a chip, just because of its chip nature and that it's so much like... Here, I want to open one of these flavors. So the first bag we got, I mean, I've only had regular Bugles. I don't think I've had... any other flavor? Get you a whiff of that.
Ooh. There was many different flavors in there.
So the first one we're going to go with is nacho cheese. We're going with nacho cheese Bugles. Are you a nacho cheese chip guy?
Yeah.
Like Doritos?
I would consider myself.
Well, are you? So with Doritos, nacho cheese or Cool Ranch?
There's opportunities where both of them are necessary.
True.
So, I think Cool Ranch is a better snack, but regular Doritos are better to cook with.
Understandable. Because my mom has made a nacho cheese Dorito casserole.
Yeah, my grandmother makes one. It's really good.
have you ever tried it with Cool Ranch
Yeah,
Doritos?
and it sucks.
Well, I think it's the cheese element.
It is.
Because if you do the ranch, it's just too much. I think it's overpowered.
Yeah, it is.
But, I mean, unless you want to do like half nacho cheese, half Cool Ranch, and satisfy anybody who wants the Cool Ranch ones, I guess. But
I feel like that at that point you would eat them with things that you eat ranch with, you know? Like maybe crush them up and put them on your pizza. I've never tried that, but like could be something.
True, like a pepperoni and Cool Ranch Dorito pizza, something like that.
Which could be
Which was probably pretty good, honestly.
I don't know what else you eat ranch with. Celery, but I wouldn't, you know, that doesn't match. That's not on the same
Exactly.
spectrum.
I mean, you can't put Cool Ranch Doritos on your salad unless you
or
wanted
your
to
carrots.
do that. Yeah, like put that with your carrots.
It's difficult.
But these are nacho cheese bugles.
Yeah.
I'm also bigger on nacho cheese than... Like, I can eat nacho cheese just regular, but I do agree with you that Cool Ranch are really good as a snack. Yeah. And also, they're cleaner. Yeah. Because once you eat nacho cheese Doritos, you get the chitty thing. The chitty. It's been a long day.
No, I understand.
The Cheeto fingers.
Yes.
Yes, the chitty fingers that I was talking about.
Dorito and Cheeto is what you were mixing, I think.
The Cheeto fingers that you get when you get Cheetos, you get that from Doritos too. So, I lost my train of thought when I did that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to try some nacho cheese bugles. Oh. Get you one of them things.
Oh, this one's...
That's a really wrapped one.
This almost looks like a Dorito. Okay.
It basically looks like that because it's like folded in.
Yeah.
You fold a Dorito like how people fold pizza and eat it. You know.
Is that all this is? Are we eating Doritos?
I don't think so. It's made by somebody else, so I don't know. Really crunchy.
Nah. I like that.
Does it have a smoky flavor?
No, I taste chili.
That's what that is?
I taste a little bit of like
Frito chili.
Yeah.
Tastes just like Frito chili, but as a chip. It's not bad.
No, it's pretty good.
Very interesting, though. So, it's got a funky smell, though.
It does. You gotta think about how's your breath gonna smell.
Oh, that's for true.
Because this stuff is
pungent.
Yes. That is the word.
Quite pungent. So, what are you thinking on like scale of 0 to 100 with no decimals?
So,
definitely above a 50.
Yeah, definitely above a 50, but I'm gonna dock some points for the pungency.
Like, is this a chip that when you go to a gas station, would you look at it and say, hey, I want those?
If I'm on a road trip by myself, yeah, I'll eat that late at night and not feel too guilty about it. But if I'm like at a movie on a date, hell no. No. It's a...
But when you go to Walmart and you're like, I gotta buy groceries, would bugles be on the list?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't even consider
it's
them.
like in that 60 to the 70s range.
Yeah, low 70s, I think. I'd probably go to 72.
Okay. I was kind of thinking around the same area. I was thinking 76, which is a 74.
Yeah.
Because it's not bad. I agree with you every part of that if I wanted, if I go inside the gas station and like if I had like a bunch of people in the car and they're like, oh, get some chips or whatever, this is what I would consider one of those. Because it's like, it's good. It's a good, like you said, it's a good snack to have in the car while you're driving.
Yeah.
But it's not one that I'm just going to watch,
You don't want to be close to anybody who's eating.
Exactly. And I'm not going to sit at home by myself watching Captain America eating a bag of bugles or something, like I'm going to eat something else, But 74 seems like a good score to give that. And we got a second bag of also bugles, if I can open it. It's a different flavor, and the reason I asked, smell that. They got a weird smell to them.
Doesn't even smell like ranch.
No, it smells like bugle.
Just pure chip.
I asked you about nacho cheese and Cool Ranch because the second flavor is just straight up ranch. They are very white.
The tail.
It looks like they put like the ranch seasoning on these chips.
Yeah, there's almost no smell to them. It's like cardboard.
It smells like.
Well,
it smells.
There's a hint
Of ranch?
A hint of ranch.
It smells like these were made when ranch was in the room.
Yeah.
And that was
It's like a seltzer.
Yeah, they smell like ranch because they were associated with it.
Bugle Ranch Seltzer.
Yeah, so here we go for ranch.
All right.
Cheers on that. Oh. Oh.
There's always got to be that one.
Oh. It really hits you like 5 seconds after you bite it.
Yeah. It's like it.
Like you're getting that funky aftertaste. Nacho cheese had a pungent smell. These have a pungent aftertaste.
Yeah, and no smell. These are like the inverse.
Yeah. So you won't have bad breath, but...
No, I still feel like my breath is going to stick out.
But you're going to have a bad aftertaste later. Yeah. It's like eating raw onions.
It is.
I wonder if there's onions in this.
Undoubtedly.
There is a bold barbecue flavor, and I do think those probably would be good. These have dried buttermilk, vegetable oil, salt, 2% or less of dried buttermilk, and whey.
Yeah, this one's got whey.
They have protein.
They do.
6 grams for the whole bag. I don't know why I keep eating them, because I'm just hungry, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't want them anymore.
I don't either, but like
the nacho cheese are way better.
This is where you eat Bugles, where they're there. I might as well.
That's their slogan.
Yeah.
Bugles, they're there. Is that in the commercial? Oh yeah, they said who should eat Bugles? Nobody. Should be the answer to that question. Who should eat Bugles? Anyone. So 0 to 100, less than nacho cheese, lower than a 70. So not a road trip snack.
I wouldn't even look at that in the gas station.
But it's not.
I'm not gonna try that again.
Like there's a constitute of a certain number that you go to, in my opinion, that when you get into the 40s, is when
it's when it makes you sick.
You get closer to spitting it out.
Yeah.
When I rate anything below a 20, means I can't even eat or drink it because it smells so bad or it tastes god awful. The stuff that's like vomit flavored or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Or like the really bad Bean Boozled ones, you know. I would still put this in the 60s.
I'm gonna go high 50s.
Oh. You're going in the 50s? Like where?
I was thinking 58.
Oh, God. I was still thinking, like, 61. Like,
I'll go 59. I'll meet you halfway.
Okay, so we'll go, what?
60?
60?
Yeah.
That makes sense. An even 60.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's not bad. I don't want them again.
Yeah.
But I'm not to the point where if somebody said, "Ooh, should I get these?" I'm going to say, I didn't like them, but that's up to you.
I think that should be our 60 threshold. That I'm not going to get them again.
Yeah, that's usually what I do is the threshold. Once you get into the mid to high 60s is like, if somebody gave it to me, that's the threshold of if somebody gave it to me, I'd eat it. But if I went and bought it, I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah.
It's that kind of area where I don't want them. Like, there's different candies for you probably that's the same way, where if somebody gave it to me, I'd eat it. But if I went to the gas station and saw it, I'm not going to buy it. Yeah. Like, why would I want ranch Bugles?
Exactly, yeah.
But nacho cheese Bugles, I mean, they're 14 points higher total. Like, I think that's well-deserved in my opinion. So,
yeah.
Nacho cheese Bugles at 74 and ranch at a 60. Yeah, fold them things up. Well, it doesn't matter if you fold them up.
They got some
smell.
stank.
The ranch don't smell. It's just I taste it now. I'm going to review 2 different snacks, which are food. we have 2 different flavors of Chewies. Have you ever tried a Chewie before?
I haven't, but they have no preservatives, and that's a big, nice perk to these. I mean, it says it right on
both of them.
Yeah.
Elmer Chewie. We have 2 different flavors. We're going to go ahead and start out with the hot.
Do you feel like this one's hotter than this one?
Okay, well, the 2 are hot and spicy and jalapeno cheddar. I don't like jalapenos.
Oh.
They're not hot to me. I just don't like the taste of them.
Yeah, they have that flavor.
It's too nasty.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, let's go hot and spicy.
What, did you read these? Do you know which one is hotter? Oh.
I mean, I'm assuming hot and spicy is hotter than jalapeno.
It has not more than 2% silicone dioxide to prevent caking.
Interesting.
What does that mean? This doesn't have that.
Sounds like a preservative to me.
It has no preservatives, though. So all the flavors are original barbecue. They have green onion, caramel, and dry roasted peanuts. I say we go with hot and spicy first.
All right.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I shouldn't have picked those. Look at them.
Those are the red ones.
Sheesh. Are they all red?
Regular orange. You first.
I'll grab one that's only half full, like a Lay's bag.
No, that's burning the air. Like, I can feel that.
Jesus.
Jesus. I got a big one. All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
I get barbecue at the first. Look, it's like. Do you have any spice there?
I had to finish it. I took a bite at first because it was scary.
I'm not having any spice.
Here, I gotta try another one.
Maybe we have to eat like a couple. It smells spicy. But I've had Cheetos spicy.
I only feel it in the back of my throat. I feel it a little bit, but it's only like, you know, where you start feeling it, like in the very, very back of your throat. That's where I'm feeling it. But like, your spicy tolerance is higher than mine.
Yeah,
so it's like
jalapenos for breakfast.
Yeah, like you're like you're used to spicy things, whereas like me, you know, like I've said before, is that the question is, there's 2 types of people. You either enjoy a lot of spicier, like really hot things, or really sour candy. And I'm a more sour guy. I like sour way more than spicy. But that's not bad.
No,
on the scale
like the flavor.
On the scale of 0 to 100,
about 73.
I was thinking probably like a 68, because they're good. I can still feel the spice a little bit to me, but
I like the flavor a lot. It's a good flavor. It's just not.
Well, you can have them. It's a 70.5 is the.
It's just not a
average
spice. Like I would imagine hot.
Do those smell like jalapenos?
Yeah, they do. That's like a fresh jalapeno.
These were bought yesterday.
Oh, so you know they're fresh.
Oh yeah, handpicked.
They don't have any preservatives.
Handpicked at the gas station. Yeah, so jalapeno cheddar. Let's go ahead and dive into these.
Not fresh.
Stale.
Very stale. No.
There's very few times where
What
I wish there was a video aspect of this, because y'all would have seen the look on our faces.
Oh no. It's compromised.
We would have had.
Somewhere in the bottom, there's a hole in it. Interesting. How did that happen?
It's got to be like a pin-size hole.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a hole in it somewhere.
That's one of the few times where I wish there was a video aspect of this, because John and I looked at each other the exact same time with the exact same look. That we both looked at each other
right after we crunched down.
It's that face you make when you take a bite of chips and they're new but they're stale.
Like,
that was when we took a bite and was like,
Is that taco and pizza?
and popcorn.
We gotta try those.
Cheese and caramel popcorn. That's not on the back of these. These have green onion and barbecue. I want to try another one. I know that they're
I want
stale.
the taco and the pizza. That sounds really good.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't like the way that sounded. That sounded like it hurt.
And it felt like I was biting into cardboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no flavor.
I'd give it about a 4.
I only taste...
Sorry, below 10 is like throwing up. I'll give it 11. I did not like that.
I'm going to stay the same with you. That way I don't have to do the math. We're going to stay at 11. If they're stale, like, I'm not blaming the chips.
But there's no flavor.
That's why we gave them 11, because of the hype. The smell.
Smells fine.
Smells just straight like jalapenos in a bag.
Yeah.
But other than that...
But it doesn't taste like that. And the texture is all...
Well, you can keep the hot and spicy, and these are going in the garbage.
Yeah. Feed that to birds.
Yeah. They might choke on that being so stale. So...
Hazmat.
Hot and spicy at 70.5 and jalapeno cheddar at 11.
That's a poor average right there.
But if they weren't stale...
They'd probably be a little better.
A little, yeah, because even with that, the staleness took away all the jalapeno flavor.
Yeah.
And there was like, if I licked it, I could have tasted a hint of cheese.
Yeah.
Like it was just straight up dusty cardboard is all it tasted like. So go. As always, please rate and subscribe. And if you're listening on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. And click that bell to get notified when new videos are uploaded. And make sure you follow the Toddcast only on Instagram at @the_Toddcast_ for all your Toddcast social media needs. Make sure you tell your friends and your family or anybody really to give it a listen. And thank all of you for listening to this episode. And if you want to know what's going to happen next week, well, I guess you're just going to have to tune in to find out. Only on the Toddcast.